From my mother church, the Puno United Methodist Church. Alam nyo, for 30 years, I was a member of the Philippines Annual Conference. Kaya, it's so heartwarming to see my old mother conference again. Thank you, Bishop.
Right, salamat po. Siya po yung ating Philippine Central Conference lay leader. So we thank you, Dr. Puno, for gracing our conference. All right, let's hear the report of the BCED. Si Ate Phoebe ang siya magre-report.
Bishop Seri and Dr. Tita Francisca, District Superintendents, pastors, deaconesses, and brothers and sisters in Christ, good afternoon. I bring to you warm greetings from the officers and members of the Philippine Central Conference Board of Christian Education and Discipleship. Grateful for God's sustaining grace, we humbly present to you the work of the BCED during the conference year just passed and some of our plans for the rest of the quadrennium. We have a new board, and the executive committee members are listed in the first part of this report. And on letter B, I am happy to inform you that the Filipino Methodist is back, and it is now a magazine. We are on to our 4th issue, and we have broken through the 1 year, for 1 year of the Filipino Methodist magazine. Greatly encouraged by the success of our Cross and Flame, which was the daily edition of the Filipino Methodist during the Central Conference in 2016, we launched the maiden issue of this magazine last year in the Baguio Mission Conference. The TFM magazine now will be our link. It tells our story as a faith community, and our individual stories as disciples of Jesus Christ. It will provide resources for Christian education and spiritual formation, as well as celebration guides through the Christian year, especially for our church workers. The TFM magazine will record milestones of our church as well as of our general membership and carry news and features on the work of our church, stories of people, places, and events in the United Methodist Connection, stories that inform and inspire, challenge and unite, and hopefully move us to action. Our goal for the Filipino Methodist is to place a Filipino Methodist magazine in every United Methodist home. The Coordinating Council, in its meeting in November last year, decided that all church workers and all local churches shall subscribe to the magazine. And so we invite you to fill out the subscription forms at the back later during the break. Invite you as well to pay your subscription fees of 500 pesos a year or buy single copies at 125. And for those with businesses, we invite you to advertise on our pages. The BCED provides resources for Christian education and spiritual formation for use of our churches, families, and individuals. A new set of lectionary-based Sunday school materials for children, youth, and adults is being prepared and will come out for use during this conference year. We also have a new confirmation manual which will be used in the whole Central Conference. Our VCS manuals have been sold out, and resources for celebration of our special observances will be published in the pages of the Filipino Methodist magazine. I want to go down to letter E, the National Bible Quiz. We are now preparing for the 11th National Bible Quiz, and the grand finals will be held in this church on January 26, 2019. Detailed information will be sent out to churches by next month. The National Bible Quiz Committee produced a limited edition commemorative Diglot Bible of the 10th National Bible Quiz, with the end in view of setting up a 1 million peso permanent fund for the National Bible Quiz. We invite you to participate in this fund campaign and be a proud owner of this limited edition Bible for 1,000 pesos only, available outside during the break. And after this conference, you may get your copies at the BCED office or at the office of our Manila Episcopal Area Bishop. I want to underscore that this conference won in the 10th National Grand Finals, first place for the junior level. And our winner was Bridget Hilary Cruz of the PAC, junior champion. Ayun pong nanay niya at ang tatay niya ay pastor. Palakpakan niyo naman. Sana po, sumali kayo ulit at malay nyo, manalo ulit. Worship and liturgical materials. We have a new Ilocano hymnal with notes coming up. We hope that the final draft will be out by the end of this year and for distribution by next year. Our chief editor is Bishop Daniel C. Arichea Jr. himself. Church supplies, worship, and liturgical materials are available at the office. Please visit us at the third floor of our United Methodist headquarters. The BCED is currently perfecting the procedure for regulation and granting permission for the use of the United Methodist Church logo for business and fundraising purposes by individuals and local churches. You will note that there are many who are selling merchandise bearing the UMC logo. However, none of these have been authorized or licensed to do so. So we hope that by this year, we will be able to perfect our licensing and other procedures to conform with UMC branding and other requirements. Revision of Ang Himnaryo Metodista. We are revising our 64-year-old Tagalog Himnaryo Metodista. And those of you who are composers or gifted translators are invited to join us in this work. We will have a translation workshop and final selection in August. Ilocano and Tagalog rituals are likewise in the press and will be out by the end of June. We urge our pastors to use our book of worship as authorized by General Conference more often. Largy scholarships. The BCED manages the scholarship program for theological education of the Central Conference. We are ready to accept applicants from the children of pastors who want to become pastors or deaconesses and who will study at the Union Theological Seminary or at Harris Memorial College. Yun lang pong dalawa na eskwela because that is the wish of our scholarship donors. Commission on Early Childhood Education and Development. The board recognizes the need to rethink our preschool education ministry in light of the K-12 program of the Department of Education. The CESED committee is currently reviewing the vision, mission, and goals of our CESED and conducting a survey among church-related schools. While many of our schools' enrollment are going down, we have some bright spots, like our Tagum City United Methodist Church Preschool has an enrollment of over 470 preschool. Inaalam ho natin kung ano sikreto para naman maikalat natin sa ating ibang mga komperensya. A national workshop was held for teachers in April this year, and we want, by October, a national consultation for our preschool ministry. Health ministries and HIV/AIDS. The BCED is tasked with providing resource materials and training programs on how churches might help members and constituents develop a healthy lifestyle, as well as a caring attitude towards those afflicted with life-threatening diseases. Resources can be found in the pages of the Filipino Methodist magazine. We have a health column here shared by our health coordinator, the Reverend Dr. Neki Soriano, and our Mary Johnston Hospital Executive Director, Dr. Glenn Paraso. Evangelism and discipleship goals for the quadrennium. I want to emphasize number 3. The BCED aims to set up a school for spiritual formation and discipleship ministries to provide a year-round spiritual formation program in annual conferences and to conduct trainings on vital congregations using the Discipleship Ministries Planning Guide. Ito po ay para sa mga annual conferences na nagnanais magkaroon niyan. We will be most happy to partner with you. School for Christian Youth Development. The BCED conducted a national consultation meeting March 3 to 5 at Fairview Park, UMC, in partnership with Young People's Ministries of the General Board of Discipleship. This resulted in a plan to upgrade the School for Christian Youth Development and produce a unified curriculum, as well as explore possibilities for systematic deployment or placement of SCYD graduates in local churches and mission areas. For your information, sisters and brothers, the School for Christian Youth Development is a 3-year summer program for spiritual formation and leadership development for young people. It is a program for young people, not by young people, but by the church. You will note that many of our youth programs are programs of the young people for the young people. SCYD is something that the church does and conducts for the young people. And this started as the Inter-District Evangelistic Institute many, many years ago. I don't remember whether PAC had it, but MidPAC had its center at Edna Thomas Hall, and the Baguio area had a school in every conference, and so with the Davao Episcopal area. We hope that PAC will take this up, and we will be happy to plan with you and help out in its conduct. Letter L, United Methodist Sexual Ethics, promoting safe boundaries and safe spaces for clergy. The BCED provides training for clergy and lay leaders on sexual ethics, recognizing and respecting boundaries, and dealing with sexual misconduct. And we do this in cooperation with annual conferences, committees on the role and status of women, and the boards of ordained ministry. Ito po, this is our response to the 2012 General Conference mandate, requiring that all clergy members must undergo at least 18 hours of training on United Methodist sexual ethics every year. And this has to do with their official administration and the passing of character and the requirement for clergy to be appointed. In the U.S., this is strictly enforced. However, in the Philippine Central Conference, we are just on our, I think, 3rd year of giving orientation and training to clergy and our SPRC. The BCED has set a big agenda for the quadrennium, and we are on our 3rd year. We thank you for your cooperation and support, and we request your prayers even as we look forward to a fruitful ministry in the ensuing conference year. Bishop, here ends our report, and we have 4 recommendations.
All right, you have heard the report of the BCED. Any motion to accept the report? Yes, Pastor Glee.
Bishop and rest of the members of the conference, I move to accept the clear and informative report of the beautiful lady.
All right. Do you have any question? Yes, Attorney Ferrer.
Bishop and members of the conference. Magtatanong lang po ako tungkol dun sa, alam po ninyo, under our discipline, Book of Discipline, may provision dyan on the illegal use, commercial use of our emblem or our cross and the flame. Bawal na bawal yan. You cannot use it for commercial purpose. Kayo ba ang naatasan ng BCAD ba ang parang magiging watchdog natin to curb all violators on this score?
In the beginning, Bishop,
Yes, again, go ahead.
in the beginning, the BCED was tasked to do that. But in the last coordinating council meeting, the CFA requested that it be given to them, and so we gladly said yes. But we are simply doing now is paving the way for them to be able to set the rules and licensing procedures.
Have you observed rampant violation along tungkol dito sa ating mga simbahan?
I wouldn't say rampant kasi hindi naman yata ganong karampant, pero madami ho talagang nagpapagawa ng mga ginagamit ng logo at nagtitinda, and all of them say it is for fundraising purposes. However, even if it is for fundraising purposes, we would like to know how the funds, how much are raised, and where these funds are going in order for them to get the permits.
Huling katanungan ko, kasi kami dito sa simbahan ito, meron kaming CEMEC, Early Education Childhood Center.
Central Ecumenical.
Yes, whatever. Napupuna ko na mulat sa pool, hindi ko pa nakikita BCAD involvement, let us say, to improve the running of this school. Nagkaroon ba ng proper accreditation yung mga simbahan, yung mga eskwelahan? Alam ko meron mga exceptional schools like St. Paul, bawo talaga ako dyan, model school yan. Pero yung amin ewan ko kung hindi ako na magsalita.
Alright. Question ba yun sa'yo?
Ang BCED po, through the Commission on Early Childhood Education and Development, provides consultancy services and assistance as requested. Hindi ho namin pwedeng, assist namin kayo. We have to receive a request in order for us to provide the services. But we do have a biennial training program for administrators and preschool teachers, attorney.
All right. Any other question? Yes, Mr. Santos. Talagang mga delegates natin, mga veterano. Yan.
Good afternoon, Bishop, and good afternoon, Ma'am Pebby Crismo. First, I would like to say something about letter B.
Okay.
Letter B.
Okay po.
Yes, go ahead.
TFM is back.
Yo.
Happy.
Back to back.
I was really honored when the editor, I forgot the name, the brother from Kapatiran,
Fort
Fort,
Nicolas.
Fort.
he interviewed me, and that was it was become viral in the
Naks.
In the internet.
What is this?
Sa
Ito?
Facebook.
In the internet.
Cellphone, naging viral po. Marami pong nag-congratulate sa akin na mabuti pinromote mo ang Filipino Methodist. Kako, that is my life.
All right.
Then I was during the time of 25 years of service for bishops. Ay tinawagan nila akong Mr. TFM.
Ayun.
Oh. Ngayon po, nakita ko po si Port Acuña kanina. Kanina lang
Fort
po.
Nicolas.
Fort Nicolas.
Port Nicolas.
Oo.
Oh, yun. Basketball player pala yun.
Sinasabi mo yata fortune katabi yun.
Si Port Acuña yung basketball player ng
Apo.
Toyota.
All right.
Ayan, correct ko kayo.
Sabi ko
Sige.
sa kanya, kay Port Nicolas, uy, brother ko na, kasi kinamusta niya ako. I would like to have a copy of the Filipino Methodist. I will promote it, even though without no commission, because that is my life. Sabi niya sa akin, wala ka pa bang kopya? Wala pa. Ngayon, si Ma'am Pebe meron. Kaya, siguro, kung pagkakatiwala niya, pwede nating bigyan sila ng 500 pesos per year of subscription. Hindi sila makatanggi.
All right.
Oo, alam ko yon. Ngayon, yun po ang una, promotion sa Filipino Methodist. Ikalawa, promotion din po. Dito po sa kanyang recommendation that the all local churches continue to celebrate Christian Education Sunday with special offering. Last
Kuya
before-
Sammy, excuse me, wala pa tayo sa recommendation. Mamaya natin
okay, sorry. Oo.
All right, sige po.
Dito lang po sa kasi
Meron pa.
maganda yung dito po sa Tagum, nabanggit niya yung Tagum.
Okay.
Has an enrollment of 400.
Opo.
It was not printed here.
Information ko lang po
Oo,
kasi.
maganda i-print niyo rito
okay.
because that will be sabi niyo kanina where you get the style and strategy para magkaroon ng mga iba na kasi lahat ng CE ng mga kinder school bumababa. Yun ang totoo. Pero ito, sinabi niyo kanina, tumaas. Kaya natuwa ako. Kaya yun siguro, dito tutulungan natin ang SIMECO para tumaas ang kanilang kinder and nursery and so on. Yun lang po. Then, saka na po yung
Salamat
susunod.
po.
Thank you po, Bishop.
Sige po. Kung wala nang tanong, last question kasi mahaba na yung time na naubos ng BCED.
Apo, Bishop and members of this conference. Gusto ko lang pong tanong dito po sa F3, sa revision of ang Himnaryo Metodista. Posible po kayang malagyan ng nota?
Ayun.
Nalagyan ng
Sa plano ho ng ating Himnaryo Metodista ay walang nota. Pero ilalagay namin yung mga references kung saan kukunin ang nota. Kasi mahal ho talaga yan. The only reason we can do it for Ilocano is because it is being underwritten by our former Philippine Central Conference lay leader and now the chair of the Ilocano Hymnal Committee, Judge Turgano. Kaya may nota yon. But for the Tagalog, ay wala pong nota, but we will provide the reference for the music.
Alright. Lahat po na sumasangayon, ating tanggapin ang report ng BCED. Say aye. Those are opposed, say nay. It is done. Next.
Recommendations po. But before I read that, I would really want to acknowledge Mr. Samuel Santos, who served the Filipino Methodist
Mr. TFM.
as business manager
Yeah.
since its inception in 1977. At pinarangalan po ng Filipino Methodist at Board of Christian Education and Discipleship siya noong nag-birthday ng kanyang 80th.
Yes,
Apo.
sige. Recommendations.
And our recommendation number 1 is that local churches and church workers subscribe to the TFM magazine and promote the same to the general membership.
Lahat po ng sumasangayon, taas ang kamay. Yung tutol, ganun din. Lahat ng nagtaas ang kamay, magpa-subscribe kayo. Next.
That local churches continue to celebrate Christian Education Sunday with a special offering for BCED as mandated by Central Conference and remit the collections to the PCC treasurer.
Okay, that is just a reiteration, so please observe that special Sunday. Next.
That local churches support the National Bible Quiz Permanent Fund by buying the 10th National Bible Quiz Commemorative Filipino Diglot Bible through the bishop's offices and the BCED.
All right, those who would support that recommendation, say aye. Those who oppose, say nay. It is approved.
And last but not least, that clergy vestments and altar paraments be sourced only from the BCED or BCED accredited outlets. I'd like to say 3 sentences, Bishop.
All right.
Napansin po kasi na ang mga clergy vestments ay hindi na in conformity with our UMC clergy vestments. Ang ginagamit po nila ay mga sutana ng pare. And that is because they are buying from sources that are not United Methodist but are really Roman Catholic and simply using our logo. Secondly, we also would want to have uniformity in our altar paraments and the communion covers. Kasi mahalaga yon na pare-pareho tayo at nauunawaan natin kung ano ang meaning ng ating mga symbols. Like we are now in the season of Pentecost. That's why you have that.
Lahat po ng sumasang-ayon sa recommendation ito, yes, taas ang kamay. Yung tutol, ganun din, pinagtibay. Palakpakan natin ang BCED at maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po.
Yes, let's call on Union Theological Seminary. Diba? Maraming tagahanga itong dalaga, no?
Our dear Bishop, Bishop Sariaco Francisco, members of this conference, greetings from Union Theological Seminary, the oldest Protestant seminary in the Philippines and one of the centenarian institutions of the United Methodist Church. Of course, we have many institutions, but we have 3 important centenarian institutions which concretely respond to the ministry of teaching, preaching, and healing of Jesus Christ. We have the Harris Memorial College, which was established in 1903 to concretely respond to the ministry of teaching. The Mary Johnson Hospital, which was established in 1906 to concretely respond to the ministry of healing. And Union Theological Seminary, which was established in 1907 to concretely respond to the ministry of preaching, hence our mandate to preach the word. This is your seminary. At this point, UTS has report, and it has two parts. The first one is the video presentation of the life at UTS, and the second one is the PowerPoint presentation of our narrative report regarding the highlights for this scholastic year. But before that, may I please request all graduates, alumni of UTS and students of UTS to please stand. Lahat po ng graduates ng UTS at estudyante niya mula sa lahat ng degree programs from TE to Doctor of Ministry. Tayo pong lahat ay tumayo, yung mga graduates at saka students. And of course, the president of the Alumni Association is there. He's a clergy member of Davao Episcopal Area of the United Methodist Church, Pastor Alan Cabas. Thank you, UTS students and alumni.
Kala ko kakanta sila.
Sa susunod po, kakantahin po namin ng bongga-bongga yung UTS hymn.
Kala ko UTS hymn ang kakantahin niya, parang
yes,
Haris.
Bishop. And then we would like also to recognize the members of the Board of Trustees of UTS. Of course, our chairperson is Bishop Danny Arichea Jr. And we have here members of the Board of Trustees. We have here Attorney Carlos. And Dr. Menry Mendilio. He's also a member of the Board of Trustees of UTS. And then Reverend Joey Galinato, Reverend Francisco Bilog, and some of them are not here. And I would like also to recognize the members of the BOT of PCU because they are partnering with UTS in our development program. We have here Rainer Puno and Judge Larida. Good afternoon. So we'll start with the first part, which is the video presentation that capsulizes the life at Union Theological Seminary. Please.
We gather as a people who remembers. We remember the past to reclaim who we are. We remember the forgone years to understand our mission and calling.
witness and compassionate witness must be owned by all stakeholders so that it could be translated in a more doable strategic plan for the future.
Thank you. What you have seen are the highlights of the 110th year anniversary of UTS, and we call that ACAD, a century and a decade celebration. And we would like to invite you to please attend our 111th anniversary of UTS this coming November 13, 14, and 15. Please be there. Okay, for our narrative report. Union Theological Seminary was established in 1907, and last 2014, we were able to reactivate or reorganize actually our Board of Trustees. And I said before, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees is Bishop Daniel C. Arechea Jr. And last 2014 also, our Board of Trustees, aside from reconstituting themselves, they also updated the vision, mission, and goals of UTS, as well as the core values of UTS. So yan po yung itsura po ng ating Salakot building. So every time you see that picture, you know that it is always associated with UTS. Kasi tayo ang merong patent ng picture na yan, no? Ng Salakot na yan. And as far as I know, it was also established during the presidency of Bishop Emerito Nakpil. Next po, please. Okay. Just continue. Okay. So the vision and mission of Union Theological Seminary, we would like UTS to be a center of theological excellence with innovative and transformative programs, highly motivated and well-qualified faculty, up-to-date physical facilities and technological support, financially stable and self-sustaining, and contributing effectively to the transformation of church and society. That is our vision. As for our mission, this is it: to promote excellent theological education that is faithful to the gospel of Christ and responsive to the needs of a highly globalized world, and to develop committed as well as highly competent leaders who can serve effectively the complex needs of faith communities, wider society, and the whole of creation. Again, last 2014, we also re-articulated the core values of UTS. We used to have the 4 M's as our core values: makadiyos, makatao, makabayan, makakalikasan. Kaya lang ginagamit din yan ng DepEd. So the Board of Trustees re-articulated it by using a biblical lingua and theological language. So we have 5 core values: Christ-like faithfulness, compassionate witness, prophetic boldness, contextual timeliness, and ecumenical openness. So yun po yun. Again, Christ-like faithfulness, prophetic boldness, compassionate witness, contextual timeliness, and ecumenical openness. These are the 5 core values of Union Theological Seminary. So part of our celebration are the developments at Union. Of course, under the administration and supervision, under the leadership of Bishop Arechea and Dr. Eleazar Fernandez, we have the 5-year development plan, which includes student recruitment plan, faculty development plan, staff development plan, financial viability and sustainability development plan, and physical development plan. So, meron na po tayong folders ng lahat ng ito because these things are not only needed at UTS, they are also needed as our documents during our accreditation. No? Okay, so as for our student population, we have 225, We have 65 Master of Divinity. We have 27 Bachelor of Theology. We have 11 Master of Theology. And we have 16 Doctor of Ministry students and 106 students in our theological education by extension. Under our theological education by extension, we have two programs, the Bachelor of Ministry and the Master of Ministry. And again, under the theological education by extension program, we have 9 centers, 7 in the Philippines, Ellinwood, Cavite, in Butuan, Isabela, Bicol, and some other regions in the Philippines, and 2 abroad. We have this long-standing satellite center in Hong Kong, and we just opened the center in Korea. So there are possibilities of opening theological education by extension center in the Middle Eastern countries, but it's still under negotiation. And for our students also, we are very happy that, of course, most of our students are from the United Methodist Church and United Church of Christ in the Philippines, which are the sponsoring denominations of UTS. But we have students from other denominations as well. We have students from the Convention of Philippine Baptist Churches, from the Assemblies of God, from the Adventist Church, and from other denominations. And we welcome that. Why? Because they have their own seminaries, especially the Adventists. They have the Center of Excellence seminary in Ayas, but they prefer to study in our seminary at Union Theological Seminary. So, of course, natutuwa tayo, ibig sabihin may witness ang United Methodist Church pagdating doon. And when it comes to our students also, the bulk of our students are from the Philippines, from Mindanao, Visayas, and Luzon, but we have also students from other Asian countries. We have 2 students from Sri Lanka, 2 students from Nepal, a student from East Timor, a good number of students from Myanmar, we have students from Indonesia, and we have also 2 students from Korea. And the composition of our faculty members is that, of course, again, majority of our faculty members are Filipinos, but we have also faculty members from Korea, from Trinidad and Tobago, from the US, and we have visiting professors from different countries. Okay, yung accreditation from Atisea. What is ATISEA? ATISEA stands for Association of Theological Education in Southeast Asia. It was established in 1967 in order to be an umbrella organization of theological institutions in Southeast Asia. And as United Methodist, you should be proud because the founding chairman of ATISEA is a Methodist bishop. Si Bishop Benjamin I. Guansing, who also served as president of Union Theological Seminary. And one of the executive directors who serve at ATISEA is also a United Methodist bishop, Bishop Emerito Nakpil, and who also served as president of Union Theological Seminary. To be a member of ATISEA is a privilege. Why? Because the moment that you will be an accredited institution of ATISEA, it means that your program can have the capacity to have linkages and partnership with other seminaries all over Southeast Asia. Kasi ang ATISEA po meron siya more than 350 member institutions. At ang UTS is an accredited member of ATISEA. So, because of that, we have the privilege of having that exchange program with Yushan Theological Seminary in Taiwan. In fact, for its second year now, we have been sending our students to Taiwan, and they are also sending their students to UTS. We are also having this faculty exchange program with Yushan. So for this year, 2 Methodista ang pinadala po natin sa Taiwan. Si Pastor Danilo Marmol for our Master of Theology program and Pastor Aris Garcia. So parehong mga Methodista po yan. So they just arrived from Yushan for that 20-day intensive program. And this coming July, we'll be welcoming a faculty from Yushan who will be teaching at UTS. And this coming October, we'll be sending one of our professors there to teach in Taiwan. Why do we have this exchange program? It is because UTS is an accredited member and accredited school of Association of Theological Education in Southeast Asia. Aside from this exchange program with Taiwan, we have also this long-standing partnership with Stockholm School of Theology in Sweden. So from time to time, they are sending their visiting professor in the person of Dr. Anna Skagersten. And for many years, we have also sent our students there. Sa pagkakaalam ko, mga Methodista din ang mga nakapunta doon. Kasama doon si Professor Lizette Tapia Raquel, si Jerome Alvarez ng Bicol, and then merong isa, Johan Lloyd Ferrer from Pampanga. Sila yung mga pinadala natin doon sa Sweden. So, this year, hindi ko nasusundin yung ano na yan, kundi yung highlights na lang. Meron din tayong tinatawag na international sightings for our faculty and staff and also for our students. Many of our faculty members are members of international conferences and organizations. Of course, you know that last year, we have celebrated the 500 years of Reformation. Kasi 1517, no? When Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses doon sa Wittenberg Castle. So last year, we have celebrated the 500 years of Reformation. And one of the writers of the Bible study material, which was used by this world organization that celebrated the 500 years, ay sinulat po ng professor ng Union Theological Seminary, si Professor Riv Vilunta. So siya pong nag-represent doon. And aside from the representation from our faculty, we're also happy to let you know that our students also are being sent to different international conferences. We have sent Mark Cabansag, a United Methodist from Baguio Episcopal area, to represent UTS to Fiji Island Climate Change Program that was under the Council for World Mission. And then 4 of our students went to India to represent UTS in the face-to-face program of World Council of Mission, specifically on the issue of poverty. And then one of our students, Christopher San Jose, was sent to United Kingdom to represent UTS again in the face-to-face program on the issue of migration. 2 of our students went to Bangkok, Thailand, Hazel Salatan and A.K. Tadiosa, to represent the Philippines and UTS in the World Council of Churches seminar on women empowerment. And just recently, we sent one student from Davao Episcopal area, Marchila Garbin, to represent UTS in the Christian Conference of Asia. So isa po sa mga requirements na mga estudyante natin ngayon sa UTS is for them to have their passport. Bakit po? Kasi ang UTS ay meron siyang linkages and partnerships sa different parts of the world. And we believe that by sending our students there, they can contribute to that conference as they can also gain much from that conference. Bakit? Importante ang context sa Philippines para matuto ang mundo kung ano ang nangyayari. Okay. For our physical development, okay. Of course, our Doctor of Ministry has new curriculum. And then, marami po tayong graduates na Doctor of Ministry dito. We have Dr. De La Cruz, Johnny De La Cruz. We have Dr. Marites Cruz. At marami po pong mga Doctor of Ministry graduates. So, meron po tayong new curriculum. And again, the ATISEA is exploring possibilities for exchange program for the Doctor of Ministry sa iba't ibang countries din ng Asia. Next, okay, we have the century and the decade curriculum. So, starting this year, we have innovation when it comes to our curriculum kasi meron po tayong ACAD curriculum. Ano po yun? We would like our students to have these 3 competencies. So, pakinggan niyo po ito, UTS graduates and students. We want you to have a strong biblical foundation, sharp theological articulation, and equipped in practical application. That's why our curriculum is founded in a framework with 4 components. What are these components? Concept and theory, practicum and field education, Christian formation and spirituality, community research and integration. Next. So we have 7 centers at UTS. So aside from our explicit curriculum, we would like also to supplement our curriculum by having these 7 centers. At tawag ko dyan ay 7 chakras. No? So Center for Arts, Liturgy, and Music, or the CAM. We have Center for Justice, Peace, and Ecumenics. We have Center for Spiritual Formation, Center for Gender and Sexuality. Kaya yung usapin ng way forward, pinag-uusapan na po yan, Bishop, doon sa UTS. Yung pinag-uusapan ngayon sa General Conference. We have the Ugat Center or Union Theological Geo-Applied Theology. We have the Wesleyan Studies Center. Actually, ang pangalan niya is Wesleyan Studies and Resource Center. Under po yan sa kay Dr. Dave Pasqua. And we are now in the process of collecting the Book of Discipline from 1908 hanggang ngayon at saka yung social principles ng United Methodist Church. And then we have also the Center for Pastoral Care. Okay, aside from these centers and aside from this program, we have also various partnerships. First, we have the partnership with the GCOR, or the General Commission on Religion and Race. So 2 years ago, we sent our students to Mindanao. Nandun sila sa Mindanao para sa sinasabi nating DVCS. One of them sa produkto natin doon sa DVCS ay si Pastor Jonah Dinglasan, sorry. Yung DVCS, hindi Daily Vacation Church Call, Diaconia in Vital Conversation and Services. No? So Diaconia in Vital Conversation and Services, wherein we deploy them in different communities, very varied. So for the first time, our students had the experience of living with the Moro people for 6 weeks. And we have also deployed some of our students to Lumad communities like Bagobo and Blaan and other Christian settlers community. And that experience is so transformative. Kasama din si Pastor Jojo, no? Meron tayong booklet dyan na binigay sa GCOR. It was very transformative, not only for our students na manirahan doon sa mga Muslim, kundi it was also transformative for the Muslim families that for the first time, they will be hosting Christian seminarians sa kanilang mga tahanan. So bago din po sa kanila yon. And then this year, again, we have another partnership with Atisea and FTSEA. We hosted the Inter-Seminary Summer Immersion Program doon sa Cordillera. So 5 seminaries or 5 schools participated in this EASY program. Ano po yun? Ang host ay Union Theological Seminary, but we have part of the participants are students from Silliman University, Aglipay Central Theological Seminary or ACTS, St. Paul Theological Seminary sa Guimaras, doon sa Iloilo, at Southern Philippines Methodist Colleges Incorporated. So bakit sila po yung ating kasama? Bakit hindi yung ating WDS at Bishop Han? Simply because the funding organization would like that the participants would be coming from Atisea accredited schools. So sila po yung Atisea accredited schools. Okay. So we are also in the process of upgrading our library services. Malapit na lang po ito. Bakit po? Because for the longest time, we are using the UTS New York cataloging system. Meron pong tatlong seminaries na gumagamit niyan. Union Theological Seminary in Virginia, Union Theological Seminary in New York, and Union Theological Seminary in the Philippines. Ito yon. Kaya lang, most of the seminaries are now using the Library of Congress. So we need to transition from the UTS system to Library of Congress so that we'll be able to have that inter-library loan program. Pwedeng maghiraman ng books sa mga libraries kung pareho kayo ng sistema. So through the Central Conference Theological Education Fund, we are now in the process of transitioning our library cataloging system. So development and changes. Sige po, tuloy lang po. Okay, next. Okay, sa lahat po ng mga nakatira sa, for those of you who have experienced living at Maclennan, please visit Maclennan Village again. So all of our duplexes are now newly renovated. Ayan na po siya, maganda na po siya. So lahat po yon. And then, we have the Maclennan Children's Playground. Meron na pong palaruan ang inyong mga anak. Next, we have faculty houses and seminar houses which have been renovated and some are still undergoing renovation. Next, we have the new administration building. Please visit UTS. You'll be missing a good number of your years if you will miss to visit it again, especially yung ating administration building. Isa po yan sa antique na building ng UTS when we transferred from Manila to Dasmariñas in 1962. Now it is newly renovated and it is now housing the office of the President. Next. Of course, we have new vehicles. Salamat sa Board of Justice at maraming salamat sa kay Reverend Danny Hernaez. No? Siya yung ating sponsor. So we have scholarship subsidy to our students. Noong 2015, we're able to give out 1.3 million, and then 2016, 1.5 million, and this year, 1.7 million plus ang binigay po natin sa scholarship. Okay, Methodist people, please send your students to your seminary in Cavite, sa UTS. Why? Because we have designated funds for United Methodist students. The General Board of Global Ministries fund is being allocated for United Methodist students. Pero, kailangan nila ng recommendation from the Board of Ordained Ministry. Bakit? Because UTS is a theological arm of our church. Therefore, we need also the recommendation from our sponsoring denomination. Okay? Next po. So, site at business development plans. Kasama po dyan yung ating mga plans po natin. Of course, sige, tuloy pa siya. Yung ating President, together with the Board of Trustees, is also exploring possibilities to develop that food park. Bakit food park? Aside from catering to the needs of our seminarians, we will be able to cater also the needs of our PCU students. Salamat sa Diyos, nagpipick up ang ating PCU. We have more than 5,000 enrollees for our senior high school. At marami pang darating. Siguro baka abutin ng 11,000 yan. So maraming salamat sa Diyos. No? So we have also the cacao tree planting near Napocor Lines. Next po. And then we are, of course, celebrating the harmonious relationships between PCU and UTS. Sabi nga natin, hindi naman sila dapat nag-aaway kasi anak ng UTS ang PCU. PCU was established in 1946 because we would like to respond to the university education. Kasi ang UTS is for theological education, ang ating PCU ay for university education. At anak ng UTS yun, so hindi sila dapat nag-aaway dahil sila ay mag-ina. So, nandyan po, makita niyo po yung itsura ng dalawang presidente. Bakibalik ng konti. President po ng PCU, si Dr. Gawan, at saka si President ng UTS, si Dr. Eli Fernandez. And then, yung dalawang chairpersons ng Board of Trustees, Bishop Danny Arichea and Secretary Perfecto Yasay, who is also the chairperson of the Board of Trustees of PCU. At yan po yung mga members po ng Board of Trustees ng dalawang institutions. Okay. So we have big dreams for theological education. We know that we will be able to fulfill our calling to serve God by serving the churches and by serving the people if you our sponsoring organization and our sponsoring church would continue to support your seminary. So to God be the glory. Signed, Dr. Eliasar S. Fernandez. I'm reporting in behalf of the President of UTS. Maraming salamat po.
Alright, salamat po, Dr. Melia. Any motion to accept the report of UTS? Yes, Attorney.
Bishop and members of the conference, I move to accept the report of UTS with appreciation.
Okay.
May I be allowed to
Yes.
propound some questions?
Yes.
Napuna ko dito sa brochure ninyo, Madam,
Yeah.
na hindi ko na makita yung mga Koreano. Once upon a time, meron pang Korean Center dyan. Pero dito napuna ko, parang nagkaroon ng fallout, sort of. Wala akong makita Koreano dito.
Okay. Hindi lang po siguro nasama yung ibang Korean students natin. We have 2 Korean students and we have a faculty member from Korea, Professor Che Choi. Yeah.
So walang fallout.
Siguro may mga changes din. Ang marami po ngayon ay Myanmar. So noon po ay Korean because of the
Yes.
presence, of course, of faculty members from Korea like Dr. Woon Siki. Pero ngayon po ang marami ay yung Myanmar students. We have a Myanmar community at UTS.
Di mayroon pang Korean Center, sort of,
Yeah.
nawala na yon.
Meron pa rin po. We have the Asian Mission Center, which was sponsored by the Korean people, and even our Grace Chapel. So until this time, actually po, meron po tayong tea center sa Korea po. So hindi na nila kinakailangan pumunta dito. Meron
Doon
po
na.
tayong tea center sa Korea.
One final question.
Apo.
I was intrigued with the way you operate as corporations, two independent boards meeting together to discuss common concerns. If you don't agree, who decides?
Well, I think they don't need to disagree. Why? Because they have common mission. If they will be true to the vision, mission, and goals of their seminary, there's no need for them to disagree with each other. That's why PC and UTS are now working harmoniously, because I believe that they are being guided by the vision and mission of the institutions which they are serving.
All right, salamat po for that very profound answer. Any other question? Yes, Attorney Santos.
Carlos.
Hindi, sa amin muna po, Attorney. You reserve your speech as member of the BOT.
Good afternoon, Bishop and
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yes po.
I was really alarmed. Why did you say na merong hindi pagkakaunawaan ang PCU saka ang UTS?
Wala
Bakit yun nasabi yan?
Nung unang panahon po yun,
They are
Uncle
supposed to
Sam.
have a meeting of minds.
Yeah.
And now they're here
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Bakit yun nasabing hindi sila nagkakaunawaan?
Dati po, well, you know already the issue of merger in 1978 that was vehemently opposed not only by the students of UTS but also by the United Methodist Church, but it pursued for many years, and it was actually the triggering factor of the quarrel between the two. But by God's grace, we're able to settle that out, no? And last 2014, we're able to reconstitute the Board of Justice of UTS, which has now a juridical personality. So it helped in ironing out the tension between the two institutions.
Siguro po mababait yung mga miyembro ng BOT ngayon sa dalawang institusyon. Ay, yung miyembro ng BOT, si Attorney Carlos.
Good afternoon, Bishop, fellow delegates. I just want to reinforce the statement of our reporter, because since the two boards have merged, we have never disagreed on any particular issue.
Yeah.
So it's a coexistence, peaceful coexistence between the two board of directors of
Trustees.
UTS and PCU. Yun lang po.
All right, salamat po. That is a remark made by a member of the Board of Trustees.
And aside from
and
peaceful...
I attest to that also.
And Bishop, aside from peaceful coexistence, we are also grateful to the Board of Trustees that they are so mindful that UTS and PCU are God's institutions. We are just stewards of these institutions. So the vision and mission of these institutions are the things that we need to uphold to.
All right, those who would approve the report of UTS, please lift your hands.
Anymore.
UTS, Union Theological Seminary.
We don't yes anymore.
Please lift your hands. All right. Thank you. Those who are opposed to the same, it is done. Salamat po, ma'am.
Last
sa
po,
inyong-
Bishop. I will just request you to please continue to be mindful of the UTS Sunday. Any amount that you will be giving for the scholarship of your students would go a long, long way. So please observe the UTS Sunday every November, any Sunday in the month of November. Thank you very much, Bishop.
Thank you. God bless UTS. All right, let me call now on Mary Johnson Hospital, followed by Kapatiran. I would like to remind you, you are only given 10 minutes to render your report. Sige po. May I request DS Robert to please sit here.
Hindi. Mary Johnston ito eh.
Sige po, pakinggan po natin ang ulat.
Good afternoon. Greetings from the Mary Johnston Hospital. Your hospital. Especially coming from our board chair, Bing or Nieves Osorio, and the Executive Director, Dr. Glenn Paraso. So this afternoon, we'd like to give you a glimpse of what's going on in your hospital. So we have entitled this presentation, Expanding God's Grace, because we would like to believe that the mission of the hospital is greatly expanding through the efforts of the hospital and staff, and of course your individual and collective support. So this is the outline of our report. Major components are expanding grace and grace for now. We based this on the following scriptures expanding God's grace based on 1 Chronicles 4:10, which says, Jabez cried out to the God of Israel, "Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain." And God granted his request. Let us see what we are aiming for year 2020, which is just around the corner. We have the following initiatives. It's quite small. I will try to amplify or focus on the major items. The development of extension campuses of Mary Johnston. As you know, we have this property in Trece Martires, which is close by. So we'd like to develop that, make it a campus. We plan to have a diagnostic and hemodialysis center in Baguio. We plan to have a campus and a hospital in Kidapawan, Tuguegarao, a 50-bed capacity, full-service hospital. We'd like to have a diagnostic clinic in Anda, Pangasinan, and Davao City. And this is part of the program of the hospital to have a complete Philippine health system, not only in Manila, but all over the country. We'd like to have an OR and DR, operating room and delivery room, and NICU or neonatal ICU complex using state-of-the-art operating and delivery room facilities, therefore enhancing or providing quality services to the community. Next. We're also in the process, in the development of the hospital integrated computerized information system. So having this would enhance our information and control, thus enhancing the capacity of the hospital to deliver services, good services, accurate billing, and patient satisfaction. We also plan to have a medical arts building or MAB, where the doctor's clinic will now be relocated from where you used to see them on the ground floor to this medical arts building for increased patient and staff satisfaction. And also to solve the parking problem, we also plan to have a 3-tiered parking or steel parking at the back. Let us now go to the future present, as we call it. This is with regards to using the hospital to accommodate foreign medical graduates. So we will use them as residents in the hospital. They will be trained in several specialties or special programs. Therefore, Mary Johnston is and will become an international training center. This is in partnership with GBGM. Therefore, when we accomplish this, we will now become part of the global UMC Health Network. Okay? Join the other health networks in the other countries. We also have the TB Dots program in the private sector. Therefore, Mary Johnston will become a premier referral center for private TB. You know, TB is again becoming prevalent. Tuberculosis center in the country. And this is with the Department of Health accreditation. We will also have an MJLI or Mary Johnston Learning Institute. Therefore, your hospital will become a host for academe and CPD knowledge management, okay? Professional development. The goal is to have a continuing professional development, education, and knowledge for the doctors and staff. And this training program will be accredited with the PRC, Professional Regulation Commission. And also, so that our hospital becomes world class, we are developing the Mary Johnston Suites. We are going to transform initially a dozen rooms to what we call as Apostle Suites. Okay. And this can become as transient suites for international patients. As you know, our country is becoming fast a health tourism, as part of the health tourism industry. We also plan to have a pharmacy air vacuum system installed using compressed air delivery system. And what this does is it enhances the speed and accuracy of medicine distribution, okay? And also prevent pilferages or, and hasten delivery to where medicines are needed. We have what we call as Project 111. What does 111 mean? One church, one room, one hospital. So this is what we call as a global partnership for healing together. We plan to renovate rooms in the hospital at a cost of approximately 300,000 pesos each. If we renovate all the rooms, it will cost $300,000. And if you want to become a donor, you are welcome. You can pay in 3 years the amount. And what this does is our rooms will be what we call as holistic healing spaces, where our sponsors or donors will receive on real-time basis prayer requests from the present occupants or patients. And Mary Johnston promises to give monthly updates to the donors or sponsors. So you'll know what's happening and who your patients are or have been and how you have helped them. And therefore, these sponsors will become part again of the global healing program of the United Methodist Church. If you will notice the picture on top, that's your present hospital as it looks today. Below is the plan to improve or to beautify the facade of the hospital. How many have been to the hospital lately? Not many? Because even now, you would notice the big changes to the hospital as it's now. Maybe later on I will briefly discuss what these are. So let's have grace for now. So what do we have right now? What have we done? So let's look at some of our new equipment. We have now a new OB 4D ultrasound machine. Why do we have this? Because in the past, many patients have to leave the hospital because we don't have this equipment. Okay, and therefore we lose revenue in that case. Okay, so with the availability of this equipment, the patient stays. Okay, they don't have to change venue. Just stay one hospital until they have received complete treatment and observation and test. This was done in August of 2016. We also have an ultrasound machine. It's now located at the first floor, again, to keep the patient in the hospital, and it's in the ground floor. This was also completed in 2016. We have a new autoclave machine, which was delivered on March 2017. And the much needed operating room lights. You know, doctors cannot operate in the dark. And for some time, our operating room lights were not really the best of the best. So now we have operating room lights. And this was delivered last year. We also have X-ray equipment. We don't have to depend on films. That was also done last year. We also have a mobile X-ray equipment because, you know, we do a lot of outreach, and this is also badly needed for our community and to other places that we service. Again, the much needed fire sprinkler system, and this is a requirement of the Bureau of Fire and Safety and the city, municipality. This was completed in 2016, again thanks to GBGM. They provided the funds for this. And not only for the fire sprinkler system, well, on the fire sprinkler system, if you have been to the headquarters, you will notice that our new headquarters building is rising, and it also has a new fire sprinkler system because this is the way today. Okay, buildings are required to put up sprinkler systems. Okay, so that you don't have accidents, you don't have people dying during fires, and so on. And as our counterpart for GBGM's donation for the sprinkler system, we provided the cistern tank. As you know, the fire sprinkler system won't operate without water. So we provided that cistern tank. Next. And that was done last year. We also have renovated the 16 rooms, both ward and private rooms. This was done over a period of 2 years, 2016 and 2017. We now have a new elevator system. It's Schindler. This was made operational in December 2016. If you have been to the hospital and if you have you were brought there as an ER case, you will notice the big change in the emergency room. Okay, so it's a bigger, better designed emergency room This was completed in March 2017. And again, one of the requirements of the Bureau of Fire and Safety is to have a patient ramp, so that in case of emergencies, whether it's earthquake or fire, the patients, of course, you cannot use the elevator, and you cannot, of course, evacuate quickly without a patient ramp. So the ramp is actually installed outside the building, on the side of the building, where you can simply push the patients who are lying in bed through the ramp down until you reach the ground floor. This was completed quite recently, a few months ago, in December 2017, again with the help of GBGM. So you will notice that a lot of help has been coming from GBGM, because, you know, we cater to the poorest of the poor in Tondo. Okay. And also, may I add, with some assistance from the SM Foundation. Okay, let's give where credit is due. We also have, together with our PhilHealth partner, we are doing the processing online, and this hastens the transaction. As you know, we have one of the best staff and office processing PhilHealth claims, so that PhilHealth claims are received quite promptly. Okay? Doesn't take months or years. So we're very happy with that. So it shortens claims processing and turnaround time. It was made operational in January 2018. We also have the HIV/AIDS project, because, as you know, HIV is again becoming prevalent. You will have read in the newspapers that Philippines has the highest HIV/AIDS incidence in Asia. So our program is to help decrease HIV/AIDS incidence. And again, with the help of GBGM, okay, we have an ongoing $30,000 program for phase 1. We have also deworming program for children. This is again an ongoing program with the help of GBGM to the tune of about $10,000.
Sige po, 5 minutes, last 5 minutes.
Last 5 minutes.
Opo.
We have also a partnership, we call it Bridges program, with the North Georgia Annual Conference, where we can acquire more hospital equipment. Our upcoming renovations are the following: dietary facilities renovation, laboratory room renovation, renovation of OR, ODR, NICU, the MJ8 hallway, the Bishop's Spouses Administrative Hallway, and the extension of the hospital lobby canopy. Yes. Okay, briefly, going to the financial side, just like to let you know that the hemorrhaging, or the red financial statements stopped in 2013. From 2013 on, we have been in the black. Okay, and for 2017, our receipts total 281 million. Excess of receipts over expenses is 31 million. 5 years ago, it was only 3.5 million. Next. Our assets is now 267 million. In 2013, it was 176 million only. Here, I just like to call your attention that donations from local churches, there are only 2 churches in the Philippines Annual Conference who have given 27, and these are Muzon, UMC, and St. Peter. So we're asking, where are the other churches? Next. And just a simple statement that the hospital, next, is working efficiently, mainly through, because we have industrial peace. We had a successful CBA. Therefore, staff, management, they're both happy. Okay. And if you have patients, if you are in need of dialysis treatment, in partnership with B. Brown several years ago, we put up a 10-bed dialysis center, and this is offering dialysis treatment at one of the very lowest cost that you could find. And church workers are given, I think, a 20% discount, including hospital staff. And lastly, I would like to just remind you that you are entitled to the following discounts. Retired pastors and deaconesses are entitled to 50% discount. Active or full-time pastors are entitled to 40% discount, including dependents. And lastly, lay people and their dependents are entitled to 15% discount. Okay, that ends my report, Bishop.
All right, salamat po. Any motion to accept the report of Mary Johnston Hospital? Yes, at least.
Bishop, I move that we accept with appreciation the report of Mary Johnston Hospital and pray that they will have more equipment so that we can all benefit from it.
Okay, may tanong po kayo. I will entertain 2 questions. Yes, sir. Sige po.
Bishop, gusto ko lang pong magtanong ng ilang katanungan. Nabalitaan ko po na isa sa pinakamagaling at pinakamatapang na presidente sa buong daigdig na wala nang iba kundi ang ating presidente sa Pilipinas ay dumalaw po sa inyo pong ating ospital. For our update, magkano ba binigay?
Siya po ay dumalaw. Paano nabalitaan nyo siguro several months ago?
Yes.
Nung meron siyang collecting fund, parang nakika-compromise yung isang
Mighty Corporation.
Mighty Corporation, oo. Parang nabanggit niya na he will donate out of the, I think, 5 billion pesos, 1 billion to Mary Johnston. Alam niyo po, kanya nalaman natin ng Mary Johnston, ito palang si Harry Roque is UCCP. Kanya siguro nababanggit niya yung Mary Johnston. Kanya siya nagkaroon ng awareness ng Mary Johnston at siyempre nasa poorest of the poor location. So kanya nabanggit yon. So he visited in, I think, January.
Magkano daw po? Magkano yung
ang binigay po, 3 million.
3 million, okay.
As meron pong designation yon. May designated.
Yun lang po gusto namin malaman kung ano mga designation. May karapatan ba ho kami malaman kung saan dinidesignate, Your Honor? At yun ba ay naibigay na po sa atin?
Hindi, yung nag-designated po yon. Ibig sabihin, sinabi niya, itong 3 million, gamitin niya yung 2 million for the poor patients and 1 million for staff.
Monthly ho ba yun? O...
Hindi, binigay na po.
One time
salamat
lang
po.
One time. Okay. Attorney, sige po.
Ang ibig lang sabihin nito, kahit saan galing yung pera, loto, sigarilyo, pero kung magagamit ng Panginoon sa kanyang kapakanan, tatanggapin natin. Di ba? Tama, tinanggap ninyo, di ba?
Tinanggap po.
Ngayon, isa pang tanong, ano? Huwag na tayo ron. Dito meron kong kaibigan. Panahon pa ni Gani, ang pangalan ng administrator dati? Gani Arceo. Nag-uusap na kami dahil yung kaibigan ko, realtor. At interesado siya doon sa lupa niyo sa 13 Martires. Kasi yung lupa niya, contiguous doon sa lupa ninyo. Para ma-develop niya yun, kailangan niya yung lupa ninyo. Inoferan ko noon ng 100 million. Kala ko kagagat na ang Mary Johnston. Nagbagong ihip ng hangin, bago ng administration. Ang balak yata ninyo ngayon magtayo ng panibagong ospital sa 13 Martires. Ganun po ba?
Yes po, balak po yun. Tatayuan po ng hospital at magkakaroon ng siguro po na parang commercial center to make it self-sustaining dahil hindi naman po siguro tayo makakabangon ng gusto doon kung ospital lang. So yun po ang plano. This is in the works po.
So wala na yung deal na yun? Hindi na kayo papayag na bibiliin kahit na dadagdagan?
Hindi pa po napuumpisahan kasi yung hindi pa nakakapag-groundbreaking. We're waiting for GBGM representatives to come at baka umpisahan na yung groundbreaking.
May development plan na po yan, attorney, so not for sale. All right, those who would, sige, last na yan. Because next reporter is waiting.
So, Bishop at mga kapatiran sa konferensyang ito, nais ko lang pong magpasalamat sapagkat 2 weeks ago ay na-opera po yung aking asawa sa Mary Johnston. Nung magpa-admit po kami, hindi pa naman ako nagpapakilala na pastor, pero napakaganda po nung kanilang reception. Talagang lahat ng kinakailangan ay na-provide kaagad. At lalo na nung may nakakilala sa akin na ako ay pastor, talagang best na yung service na kanila pong ibinigay. So bagamat malaki po yung aming babayaran sana, but because of PhilHealth, saka yung health card at yung discount po ng aking asawa sapagkat si asawa ng pastor, ay konting-konti na lamang po yung lumabas na pera namin. Pero ang gusto ko pong bigyan ng diin ay yung napakagandang serbisyo, yung mga efficient na nurses, yung mga mahuhusay na doktor, at yung mga staff po ng ospital na talagang binibigay po nila yung kanilang best para mas lalong maging maayos po yung treatment sa pasyente.
Okay, salamat po.
Gusto ko lang po mag-react. Salamat po for the thanks, DS. Gusto ko lang po alam sa inyo, yung pong improvement in service, this have been brought about by the changes, and aside from the CBA, the close partnership with Nowstop. Sabi namin kayo ay kastuwang namin, kasama natin sila. So nag-improve po ang service and we monitor their service through patient satisfaction surveys and so on. At may I add also na si Pastor Quinsayas and family have also been recent patients at salamat at siya ay nagpabigay din ng pasasalamat. So thank you all. Patronize your hospital. Support natin ang ating hospital. We have only this one hospital. You make use of it. Okay, so it will do more for the community, for the further glory of God. Amen.
All right, those who would approve the report of Mary Johnson Hospital, lift your hands. Thank you. Those who are opposed to the same, thank you very much, Engineer Armas. Let's continue to pray for Mary Johnston Hospital and let's support our own, very own hospital. Let's call on, what's that? Courtesy. Sige. And then after which, the Kapatiran Kaunlaran.
Wini-welcome po natin ang Reverend Dr. Shin Ho, Korean Methodist Church of Manila Shalom Center. Nandun po sila sa likod. Please come forward.
Korean Methodist Church o Korean Pastor?
Korean.
Yeah. Would you like to come in front and greet the conference? He's our partner in Laguna and others.
Okay. Kayo din, Bishop, yung grupo po ng ating medical team, pinapangunahan ni Noel Venco, Doktora Armedeza Lianggo, Jeje Leo Serafica, Jasmine Clarice, and Charles John Maglake.
All right. Anong gagawin natin sa kanila?
Okay. Salamat po yung mga nagpapabipi doon.
Sige. May
doktor tayo, Bishop.
Bukas po bago ang reading up appointment, ay please mag-conduct kayo ng blood pressure check-up. KKFI. Sige po, at 3:30, according to our time, we'll have our break. So, maximize the time.
Bishop Siriaco Francisco and members of the Philippine Central Conference 108th regular session, I bring you warm greetings of peace and solidarity from the Kapatiran Kaunlaran Foundation Incorporated. We are distributing our report, and I hope you will read this, especially those stories from our participants or program participants. And I would just like to show you a video of KKFI that captures the history, a brief history, and the current programs of KKFI. And I'll just present two important new programs after that.
1949, devastation still wafted through the Manila air due to World War II that ended just a few years before. Driven by compassion, American missionary Madeline Klepper started a feeding program for the city's orphans of war. It spawned the kindergarten education and livelihood trainings for the kids' parents. In 1950, Ms. Klepper formally established the Methodist Social Center, adding livelihood training to the widows of war. After Ms. Klepper's retirement, Mrs. Ruth Prudente took over the helm of the organization. During her term, it was renamed the Kapatiran Kaunlaran Foundation Incorporated, or KKFI. It is a social development foundation affiliated with the United Methodist Church. She secured the transfer of the 6,700 square meter lot at the heart of Manila's University Belt. Mrs. Prudente was forced to flee from martial law under the Marcos regime, leaving the responsibility of running the affairs of KKFI to Mrs. Nelly Mercado. Mrs. Mercado worked for the sustainability of KKFI and established a 4-story commercial and dormitory building that can house more dorm residents. She institutionalized the management seminars of the community development for church workers and civic leaders. When she retired in 1994, the position fell on the shoulder of Mrs. Priscilla Atuel. It was during her time the 1.5-hectare Gilead Center compound in Pulilan, Bulacan was acquired. She also built a 3-story building there to house street children from Manila. After her retirement in 2009, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees, Mr. David Gutierrez, acted as the executive director while looking for the latter's replacement. After a year, Mrs. Nancy Caluya Nicolas was appointed the new executive director of KKFI. Today, Kapatiran's banner program is the so-called Development and Protective Services, which includes 1. The Early Childhood Care and Development, or ECCD, the KKFI's longest-running program since 1950. After visiting the Manila North Cemetery, the oldest and biggest cemetery in the country, and seeing the thousands of children living there, Mrs. Nicolas thought there should be a shift in the foundation's approach to providing education for the children. In June 2011, KKFI's Alternative Learning System, or ALS, was launched. It is the second sub-program under the Foundation's Development and Protective Services. The third sub-program is called the Child Friendly Spaces. It is being conducted in the Manila North Cemetery and the dump site in Pulilan, Bulacan. KKFI has a number of scholars in elementary, high school, and college levels, including those who pass the ALS examination. The last sub-program is the Student Ministry, which the Pastoral Care Development Office takes care of. Also, the Foundation is an accredited training and testing center of TESDA. Trainings included massage therapy, cosmetology, food processing, and baking. It has put up a spa and a bakery in line with its livelihood program. In 2015, the Foundation started a program called Training for Employment. It aims to address the mismatch between the jobs available and the skills of the jobless youth. KKFI continues to engage in community organizing. It provides capacity building to members of community for the latter to develop and implement their own programs. Kapatiran also cares for the elderly through its 27-year program called the Day Center for Older Persons. The Foundation organizes the young people through a program called the Youth Lead Educate and Advocate for Development, or YLEAD. Kapatiran has institutionalized the Haplos ng Pagmamahal as it conducts healing ministry and community outreach to the sick. Every December, children in various places get to enjoy the real meaning and spirit of Jesus' birth through a program called Wish a Wonderful Christmas or Wow Christmas. The foundation generates its own funds, albeit with small amounts of financial assistance from partners abroad. It has a 300-plus bed dormitory, a business that is perfect because of its location. It has spacious rooms, an air-conditioned library, and study areas in every floor, review rooms for rent, and a green lawn with flower garden, a rarity in the U-Belt area. Kapatiran has other income-generating facilities like office spaces and a multi-purpose hall rented by review centers, churches, and other groups, the seminar house, and the guest house. Commercial spaces for shops, restaurants, and other businesses around the KKFI compound, a basketball and a volleyball court, which is quite popular among sports-minded students, and parking spaces for rent. Indeed, the Kapatiran Kaunlaran Foundation Incorporated is blessed. In return, it continues to bless the poor and underprivileged. Kapatiran, after all, is affiliated with the United Methodist Church that focuses on outreach activities and ministry, and its mandate is to show a glimpse of heaven even while on earth, and to make them feel that God cares for them, and God uses people of wisdom and good hearts to make this happen. They are the members of the corporation and its board of trustees. With the Lord Jesus Christ at the center of all its programs and activities, the Kapatiran Kaunlaran Foundation Incorporated will continue working with the poor for years and even decades to come.
Yan po yung short video about Kapatiran Kaunlaran Foundation. At this point, I would like to recognize members of the General Assembly, the Reverend Rubinel Estrella, Engineer David Farala, and the newly elected new member of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Rainer Puno. So yun po yung existing program, but I would like to add to emphasize two programs, new programs of KKFI. It's called the Training for Employment, although it started in 2005. But this year, we have decided that it should be a demand-driven program. As we know, even TESDA or our universities and colleges, when students graduate, they barely landed in a good jobs, no? And so what we did is, ano ba yung demand ng work at this time? And so we are offering, starting June, July, August, program that is TESDA accredited, skills training for the construction business. Kasi alam naman natin, sabi sa amin ng TESDA, malaki daw yung voucher, madami ang vouchers ngayon ng TESDA, and so we grabbed the opportunity, and by June we are offering courses on carpentry, tiling, and all about construction business. And these graduates later on have already employment sa mga big construction firms. So for churches who have mission points kung saan you can identify students that could enroll in these courses, skills training, please contact KKFI because we have 1,500 slots for this. It's free, and we can even conduct the training in the community and bring the equipment that they need in the community so that students have no excuse na walang pamasahe, walang pagkain. So that's one. Second, we just started a program, a scholarship program, in memory of the Reverend Laverne and Mrs. Mercado for students of Harris Memorial College and UTS. It's very specifically request from Mrs. Mercado na yun yung isusupport nila. And the committee had just formulated its policy sa scholarship program that students who are third year and fourth year and are really hard up in continuing their education are supported. And so we are asking, we asked Harris if they can present to us their candidates for the scholarship program and UTS as well. Konti lang po ito. As much as possible, mga 2 lang from each school or 3 kasi limited yung funds, and we would like to continue with this legacy. Pahabain yung perang naiwan ng mag-asawang merkado so that more students can be assisted in their theological education. So yun po yung 2 programs, and we are in the process of screening the scholars. By next year, we are opening also candidates from the Wesley Divinity School. So even ang request nila ay from UTS and Harris lamang, the board of KKFI also had reconsidered that we will also open candidates for scholarship from the Wesley Divinity School. At very specific din po ito sa mga Methodista. So that ends my report, sharing Bishop, and if
Thank
you
you.
have questions.
Any motion to accept the report of KKFI? Yes, Pastor Sani. Si attorney na, nakatayo na si attorney.
Tayo na eh.
Yeah. Oo, magbigyan mo na.
Bishop and members of the conference, I move to accept the report of the chair of Kapatiran.
Okay.
With appreciation.
All right.
With reservation that I be made to ask some questions, if she doesn't mind.
Yep.
Napun ako, alam po ninyo, nung kapanuhan pa ni Madeline Klepper, nagpupunta na ako roon. At doon nakita ko na nag-uumpisa, napakalaki yung signage ng the cross and the flame. Ngayon, napupunta ko dito because of perhaps ecumenism. Para bang itinapon na natin yung sign of the cross and the flame into the fire of ecumenism. Wala na. Wala na. Para bang ikinahihiya natin. I'm sorry to say that. Wala si Bishop Juan dito. Kundi kagalit yun. Sa composition ngayon ng board, ibang 3 obispo natin, automatic ex officio members of the board.
Ang bishop po ng MEA, ang automatic member.
Automatic. Yung 2, wala.
Isa lang po, obispo.
Ganon.
MEA lang po.
They have to run to election, di ba? Kailangan bubutuan sila para maging ano sila.
Opo.
Hindi pa... Well, I am for ecumenism. I worked for NCCP for some time, doon sa radio ministry before Laverne Mercado sold all the equipment. Nalulungkot ako, no? Kasi nawawala yung symbolism ng the cross and the flame. Nami-miss ko. Ito ay inumpisahan ng Methodista. Kahit nakaparinggit sana, meron yung cross of the flame. Nilamon ng ecumenism. Comment po ninyo.
Yeah po. Sasagutin ko po, Bishop. Yes, in the past, there was an action of the board that it should, in the logo of KKFI, it should also contain that KKFI is the social development arm of the United Methodist Church. However, it was questioned also by the General Assembly in its last meeting, because they said we are not really official of social development arm. No, it's I think Asuncion Perez who is the official. But then we recognize that KKFI is an affiliate organization of the United Methodist Church, and so in the last General Assembly, it was voted out that in our logo we have to put the cross and flame in it. Nagkataon lang po na printed na ito during the General Assembly, and in our next printed materials, and even maybe in the signages at KKFI, we will be putting the cross and flame as part of the logo of KKFI.
Okay, that answers the question. Yes, if no more question, those who would approve the report of Kapatiran Kaunlaran Foundation Incorporated, please lift your hands. Thank you. Those who are opposed to the same. Salamat po. Mga kapatid, let's have a break. And then when we come back, I will share with you the report of the Way Forward, Commission on Way Forward. So, let's come back after 15 minutes. Sige po, go, go, go. At kayo makapag-stretch out.